One of the objections you could have is I don't have a good idea. But an idea can be anything plus you. There are no good or bad ideas, there are only ideas that we implement and ideas that we don't. A good idea can be wasted and a bad idea can be turned into something good. And where can these ideas come from? Well, there are a number of places. In theory, when we look at academic research, researchers claim that it can come from patent offices, from the government, from technology transfer between companies and between the universities and the industry. It could come from trade shows, from doctoral dissertations, from invention expositions, from some kind of brainstorming within firms or among friends. But in practice, which also academic researchers write about, it could come from personal satisfaction and dissatisfaction. And this is a source that when people talk about in innovation, that when firms get new ideas, it often comes from their customers being dissatisfied, complaining, so on and so on. But this is something that is used by individuals as well. When they're not satisfied with something, or when they're satisfied with something in another area and wants to bring that to a new area, that could be an idea. It could be a customer-generated idea, as I said. It often has some kind of link with prior market knowledge. Not that you go out and search the market first, but you already know. Things that you already know can give you ideas. It can be that you outgrow a hobby, something that you have done because it's a lot of fun and you really would like to make some money out of it so you could do it more. It could be someone else who trusts an idea on you and you're like, oh, that's so good, I have to do it now when I got the idea. It can be that your employer do not want to go ahead with the idea, and as the story goes, that is the way that Uppsala-based company Sea-Based came about. It's Mats Leijon had this idea about wave energy, and his bosses at ABB did not like it, and therefore he came to the university with the idea instead. That's at least as the story goes. It can be the acquisition of a company or a product that is already started, and then you continue working on that. It can be something you read in the news. But what happens is that it's often a very small start and then it starts to grow. And Schumpeter, he says that there are different forms of entrepreneurial opportunities. It could be new products or services, new ways of organizing, new methods of production, new raw materials that are used, new geographical markets that are reached. And when you look at what entrepreneurs actually do, this study by of Stanford Business School alumni found that the venture they had created were in this composition 85% were a new market, 57% was a new product or service, 43% was a new way of organizing supply or distribution, and 9% was new production processes. And as you can see, these numbers don't add up, so that would mean that many of these ventures filled into multiple categories. But there are many sources of entrepreneurial opportunity. There could be some kind of technological change that allows people to reorganize resources in new ways. For example, the internet might enable this. So where does this technological change come from? Well, that varies between industries, varies between firms and customers and research laboratories and government agencies. But basically, this is connected to the innovation lecture. When a new paradigm of technology enters the market, that means opportunities for those who have the ability to jump on the train. It could be political and regulatory changes that make it possible to use resources in a new way. For example, the deregulation of the electricity market opened up for new actors, and that created new markets, and we got intermediaries between the great utilities and the producer of electricity goods. We could have a change in the telecommunication market. For instance, that we saw that and we got a lot of new actors in that sector. The deregulation of the pharmacy market in Sweden opened up for a lot of new players. So a change in the industry structure could change the way profits are made. There could also be some kind of socio-demographic change. There could also be some kind of socio-demographic change that allow people to arrange resources in different and potentially more productive ways. And that could be that economics of scale are possible. There are 3 main types of socio-demographic changes. Urbanization is one, population dynamics, and particular size of population, growth of population, mobility of increased mobility or decreased mobility of the population. Or it could be educational infrastructure. And one example is university spin-outs that can come from that. Here are some useful contacts when you have the idea. Patent attorneys, accountants, venture capitalists, bankers, salespeople or distributors, other entrepreneurs, purchasing agents, lawyers, R&D people, potential customer, business people, executives. And now you might think that, okay, I do not know any of these people. But you will. You have an entire class here with 20-something people that are just students now, but they will go out and start working and become these people. And that goes with every other student you meet during your studies here in Uppsala and elsewhere. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted you all to take photos in the beginning, so that you can actually get to know each other, because you will be each other's contacts in the future. And before this course is over, I will also ask you all to connect on LinkedIn, so that you can reach out to each other later on when you get these good ideas, or when someone else gets a good idea and needs your help. The idea is anything plus you, but then the opportunity would be the idea plus some action. So you need to actually do something about it. And here is a quote from Robert Rice, and he was the founder of R&R, that is the company that brought Trivial Pursuit to the US. People think that they shouldn't go into business unless they have a blockbuster idea that's going to change the world. It does not work that way. There are few new blockbuster ideas. There are just mundane kind of ideas. You do something better than someone else. You take an exciting thing and you add a new twist. It is just like Scrabble. You can take an existing word, you put one letter on it, and you get credit for the whole word. Your letter plus the word. But if you want to be able to evaluate your idea, I'm not saying that you have to, but if you want to, then you can go through these 4 bullet points. First, is it doable? How's the technical feasibility? Is the technology already available? Is it in development somewhere else? At which stage is it? Is anyone else using it to make the same product? If not, then why not? Are there any entry barriers that come with your product? And list reasons why a user might not want to use your product. Are there other nascent technology that they could use instead? Market feasibility. Who would the customer be? And how does the market look? And this is covered mostly in the market analysis lecture. You can look at that. And then, is it worth doing? How's the financial feasibility? Are there any initial funds required? What would investors like to hear about it? What could convince them to invest? If you had the money yourself, would you invest in this idea? And then, can I do it? What is it going to take? Will it be long hours, setbacks, awkward learning process, negotiating through contracts, dealing with rejections? And why should you do it? Why not someone else? What is your unique qualities that make you the right person to do this? What special strengths do you have? And how do you overcome your weaknesses? And then the 4th bullet point. Do I want to do it? Does this excite you? Why do you really want to do it? What's driving you? What are your exit strategies?